So I've got my picks already loaded up there for everybody to have a look at. Normally I have them blanked out so I don't influence everybody's picks. But I've left them there for everybody to have a bit of a help. How much I get if I beat you at Road Company? We can double it. Oh, there's a streaker in the background. My dog just walked past. So I'll give you guys some time to have a look at the board, get your picks in. We have a good healthy mix of German football, French football, American football, as well as some Russian ice hockey thrown in there for good measure. So there's a good mix-up of sports this week. Some that I think some people might not have a good bit of expertise in. But there's plenty of NFL on the board there. So remember, you just got to put in... I'll put in the rules here for you so you can have a look. What you need to do in order to get your selection counted. Doesn't matter if the apostrophes are there in between your picks or not. That's just an example. You can just do ACE if you want, or A... not apostrophe, A comma C, A, so on and so forth. So the comma's rather irrelevant. I just did it there so it looks nice. You can put it with commas so it's easy for you to keep reading what you've put in. But we'll keep my picks up there for a bit. I'll run through the board with you guys shortly of why I've gone with my picks and why they are there. Oh yeah, we could, well, coming from Australia where they have the highest individual bettors per capita in the world, it's not something foreign to us. Betting is actually pretty culture driven in Australia. We do a lot of it because we have one of the biggest horse racing markets in the world. So that's we have some very big bookmakers as well, some very corrupt ones as well, because that's the nature of the beast. So it's I've seen that it's actually getting more regulated in America, which is a big plus because there's been a lot of people that just take bets from people and just take their money and disappear. So it's good to see it getting more regulated in America, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing, because if people keep getting ripped off going to a backyard bookmaker, then they'll probably stop and lose the fun side that you can add to sport. I mean, there are plenty of things that you can look into with sports and line movement, as well as reverse line movement. That sort of is the way the bookmakers show their hand of who they expect to win. It's all a lot based on probabilities and percentages when it comes down to bookmakers. Bang on the money there, Falcon. That's how you need to do it. Yeah, I mean, if you're into mathematics and probabilities and ratios and things like that, then you'll probably have a very good chance of being successful in the industry of making decent side income from sports betting, because it's something that you need to be able to do without emotion. Like me, plenty of times I've bet against my team and made money off it, just because I know my team well enough to know when they'll be terrible. It's definitely something that's starting to pick up a lot of steam in America, and it's hopefully a market that gets better regulated, because without regulation it becomes rather criminal. I think they're starting to realise that. Apart from being able to go to the big bookmakers like you see in Las Vegas with Caesar's Palace and things like that, then it's going to be much better for the actual market in America. That's 100% sure. Yeah, like what I like to do with my pick and board here, it's I like to go through and I like to pick the ones that aren't rather obvious picks. I think there seems like everyone I work with is doing it. Oof. Yeah, it's definitely an emerging market in America right now. It's probably something worth investing in as well, because it's an industry where companies that are in it generally don't lose money. I mean, they did this year because of COVID, because a lot of sports got shut down, so a lot were losing money. Just bet on the opposite. What do I pick? And you'll be rolling in cash. Well, you only had to bet against the Falcons so far this year, and you'd be rolling in plenty of it. So the first one I've got up on the board there is actually from the German Bundesliga. We're looking at VfL Wolfsburg at home against Werder Bremen. For me, I've gone with the side that I actually don't support. I support Werder Bremen. This week I think is their big letdown point, because last week they had the big draw with Bayern Munich, the monsters of Europe. Yeah, it's probably definitely a good idea there. Falcon's suggestion. Don't forget to get your picks in, everybody. I'll have a look at everybody's picks and break down. Actually, before I go into my next game, I might actually have a look at the first board's picks, which is Falcons. So he's gone with Wolfsburg into Everton. He's gone with the ace to kick it off, the popular ace. Then Marseille, who are backing up from some Champions League football a few days ago. Into Spartak Moscow. Into the Falcons, a bit of a homer pick there. Following in with L, the Titans. Ooh, wasn't expecting that one. Not from a Falcons fan. M with the Steelers. Into O, which is the Niners. R, Kansas City Chiefs. T, Hertha Berlin. U, which is Chelsea. And X, which is Aston Villa. Going to support the Jackie Grealish boy there, huh? Ooh, Gorsom's come in with some picks there as well. We'll have a look at those. The ace, the first three home games, they look pretty popular now. First two picks coming rolling straight in for it. We've had 3 picks come in now. That's good. Good to see them starting to roll in here, everybody. So yeah, we'll go back. Breakdown. What was the ace pick? Seems very popular across the board, except with Atlas coming in with the D in there, throwing the Leeds upset over Everton at Goodison Park. That's an interesting pick. While it's not completely impossible with how much Everton's dropped off, it is a good spot to probably go against the home side there, even though I think they will win. I think they're going to be licking their wounds this week, Everton, and at home they need to get the win on the board, so they'll be desperate for it. So it's a very good spot to pick the home side there, I think. Although a loss or a draw probably wouldn't be surprising with how lazy Everton play generally in the last 20 to 25 minutes of the game. I think fitness is their biggest problem. They seem to struggle to play out the full 90, but that's always been a... Yeah, I will be Possum. I'll be putting some Road Company on a bit later. Probably this will be done in probably about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and then after that it will be straight into some Road Company a bit later. Thanks again for the big gifted subs today, Possum. Much appreciated, my man. The next pick we had a look at there, as I've said, I've just run through my second pick. My third pick there will be Marseille. Marseille, I think they're the better side. The midweek European football could be a bit much. They could be a little bit on the slow side this week, which is a bit of a problem. Don't really want that. When they've had European football all week, it's generally a bad thing for sides of that level. They have historically struggled to bounce back. They are bouncing back though from playing one of their first games in the Champions League at home in 8 years, so they are a bit pumped. They'll have a bit of steam behind them, that's for sure. So there is no way that you can sort of count them out to have a big game. Backing up again at home, I think you can't really look past them there. They're still real competitive in League One. They're probably more focused on League One, knowing that they're not going to do too well in the Champions League with the group that they got stuck in. It's a rather rough group they've got. And I feel that with a bit more of a home focused than most, they've probably got a good chance of picking up the win. I think it's going to be like a 2-0 or a 2-1 kind of game, more so for Marseille than anything else. Cool, got to run into a meeting. I'll jump back on in a bit. Cool. Good luck with the meeting, man. And I'll look forward to seeing you a bit later. No, it's all good, man. I understand work and real life. Definitely Possum. And thanks again for the gifted subs. It's much appreciated. Any support does help out in a big way. Oh, Moldy Good's come through with the picks there. I like the abbreviation at the end there. You've got there, Moldy Good. You've got the all the picks coming through with sucks. I never really noticed the abbreviation there until then. We are looking at, you've broken up the ace pick and gone with the BDE. You've gone with Leeds and Bremen. I like the Bremen pick. Even though I'm going against my own side, they just seem to be getting it done. They played a really good game against Bayern Munich, and generally after a big result, I tend to see teams dip a lot, which is why I'm not going with my side. I think it's probably a high chance that this game could be a wipe to make an 11-pick board. And I think that when you look at it, Wolfsburg, they're not bad. They're winning well at the moment. But I think Füllkrug being out against a side that's got a rather sharp defence is a big loss. Josh Sargent is really starting to come along for them, the fiery redhead from America. So hopefully he can get one in early for them. So with that said, I think that one of the big key components for Werder Bremen right now is the fact they're giving Taichic Chong a bit more playing time, which is the transfer, well not transfer, but more of a loan with the option to buy from Manchester United. Manchester United were looking for him to get a bit more playing time than he was at the start, so they called it out. Which means it's falling into a good spot for more so for Wolfsburg, who are not carrying as many injuries to key players as Bremen are now after the game against Bayern Munich, because it took a lot out of them. So we are looking at a rather interesting matchup in this tussle, this German Bundesliga tussle. So I think, as you do with your picks, you got to go against sometimes what you want, and I think I want Bremen to win, but I think that Wolfsburg is just too good at the moment, and it'll be very hard for Bremen to get in this one if they aren't able to score early, because if they score early, they'll look to just put the wall up like they did against Munich, which worked very well. It wasn't that Munich didn't have their chances, they actually had a goal disallowed, but it's a rather interesting make-up, to be honest, in this competition. Oh, we've had another pick come in from Nuablit. You've gone with the ace. The ace has returned. That's good to see. Everybody's going with the 3 home games at start, like me, with a bit of change-up, which is nice to see. I'll roll into my next game now, which is Baris Nur-Sultan hosting Spartak Moscow. I've gone with the outsiders here, which is actually Spartak Moscow. Nur-Sultan is the home favourite, but Spartak have been competing very well this season. They've knocked off 2 of the biggest teams in the Russian Ice Hockey League in CSKA Moscow and SK St. Petersburg. So they've got a couple of big scalps under their belt. They took a loss in their last game, I think it was in overtime. So they'll be ready to bounce back here against a Nur-Sultan who's lost 2 key defensive personnel and are onto their 3rd goalkeeper already this season. So I think Nur-Sultan being favourites here is just off their run of form. It's not counting in their injuries. So you'd have to look at Spartak here to get the edge on the road, even though they're the better side against a banged up home side here. Going with the road dog in that one, that's my logic behind that pick. Seems like we have a lot of, someone's just brought it to my attention that we seem to have a lot of hate against the Raiders here at the moment. There's a lot of picks coming in for the Falcons. I feel like the lone soldier here on the Raiders. I think some people might not be paying too much attention to this game or counting out the Raiders for some reason, just because of that loss to the Chiefs last week, but it was a very competitive game. I wouldn't rate the Falcons to win that game by any potential value. Good to see the Falcons getting some love. Oh, Burn Dropout says Falcons win easy. I wouldn't say that. If they do, they'll probably win the first half and then lose the game in the second half. They might win the first 3 quarters easy, but I doubt they'll win the 4th one. So, with that said, we'll move into the next game, which is the Colts hosting the Titans, with the Titans looking for revenge after getting blown out in the second half 2 weeks ago to the Colts. This is a must-win game for the Titans. If they lose this one, then there's a very, very high chance that they could possibly actually lose this game, lose their playoff spot, and potentially make their way out of being in the playoff picture for a rather long period of time. So think it's too much of a risk here to not go with the Titans. They're playing well. They're looking for ways to win. They're being rather aggressive. Their offense is starting to click again. It took Ryan Tannehill a few weeks in a little mini mid-season slump, which can happen before he starts to play better. And I think last week's game against the Ravens, where he outran Lamar Jackson and also outthrew him for pass yards and had A.J. Brown just monstering a defense as a wide receiver. I think what you're looking at right now in the NFL is the new guard of wide receiver. DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown are really revolutionising the position with more of a power approach to being a wide receiver, because the extra yak that these guys seem to get just changes games on its head. And when A.J. Brown carried multiple players into the end zone this weekend, it was pretty good watch, that's for damn sure. So yeah, we had that. Hopefully it is continues the trend this week for the Titans. Oh, Tingle Schwinger, enjoying that sub badge there, man. Good stuff. Happy to see it. We have gone from the Titans now into Steelers hosting the Ravens, and I don't know how anybody can go with the Ravens in this game, considering that most of their team is infected with coronavirus. It's a very tough spot for them to win here. I think they'll struggle. I mean, they do have a talented team, but if Lamar Jackson is out because of COVID, then there's a very low chance that they'll win with the backup that they have. That's not a knock against the player as an individual. That's just saying that the team's offense isn't as good as it should be because it's so one-dimensional with how it's game planned for Lamar Jackson. It's look, then run. And teams have wised up to that, so that's why Lamar Jackson's fallen off hard this year. He might have good passing stats, but that's because the Ravens, they tend to fall behind a lot, and they've had quite a few comeback wins because teams got lazy. But I don't think you'll see that happening too much in the future. Halloween Grey Ghost comes in with the picks there. What have we got there? The Ace is back, and he's got STX. Doesn't work, my man. You need to change your T to a U or a V. STX, S and T are from the same line there, my man, so I need to fix that one. There you go, that's better. That one got registered. Good work and good luck. Just remember, guys, you can't do more than one pick. Only one pick will get registered. The only way it won't get registered is if you have a mistake and double tack a team or a team line. So thanks for fixing that one up there, Grey Ghost. So the next game after that was I just talking about the Baltimore Ravens. So we're moving into the Rams hosting the Niners at SoFi Stadium in a interdivisional battle. You have the Niners, who are really banged up at the moment, but they're still finding ways to be competitive. As I've said all season long and for multiple seasons now, I do not rate Jared Goff as a quarterback. I think he's too sporadic in his in-game performances. I don't think that he is accurate enough as a starting quarterback. I think he makes too many bad reads. And those bad reads tend to cost his team games in big situations. So I think we can say clearly that the Rams are not as good as they were before when they had a better running back as well as Goff running off the success of the ground game. He doesn't have that successful ground game anymore, so now teams are challenging him to throw the ball, and he's just not looking good at all or comfortable while doing it. His only target really is Robert Woods. And I mean, to be fair, that's not the greatest target you'd want to have as a starting quarterback in the NFL. While I did like Robert Woods at Buffalo, and I do like him here at the Rams, he's just not a superstar wide receiver or a wide receiver you need for that level. While Villa, he's come in too with his fade badge there, man. Nice looking fade badge you have there. Big thanks again to Possum Awesome for the gifted subs today. It was much appreciated and very happy for that to come through. With that said, we are going to move on to the next game there after the Niners. I picked the Niners just basically because I think it's a good upset point. just like I have with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the next one, because after Tom Brady gets called out by his coach, his performances in the next game so far under Arians have been huge. While I don't rate him very much as a quarterback anymore because he doesn't throw the ball deep, he doesn't throw a nice deep ball anymore, he lost a big part of his game, which is the deep ball. So I feel that he is not performing to his best standard, and I think that hurts the Buccaneers because they have a lot of deep field and ball stretches and field stretches, and Arians loves the deep ball and Brady just can't do it anymore. So it seems like a mismatch between quarterback and coach in this instance. While you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have got an absolute stalwart defense on the defensive line, and then one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Patrick Mahomes with pure speed from Tyreek Hill, an emerging running back in Hilaire. It's very tough to see how the Buccaneers win this, but I've taken them because this just feels like the bounce back spot for Tom Brady against the new Tom Brady. With that said, I think there'll be a couple of big plays made by the Bucs defense. The Bucs defense is probably going to turn this game on its head with maybe a turnover, a pick six, something from the special teams. I think this is going to be something strange in this game, and it's going to fall back in favour of the Buccaneers. Mahomes will school Brady. Oh man, we can hope. I wouldn't say no to losing that one and having a 50 burger dropped on Tom Brady for the Bucs, because I dislike the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a team and I always have. Ernest Domust coming in with the picks there with the BCE, gone away from the ace, picking Bremen. Don't mind it, good pick. At the end, you've rolled out with the SVX, which is FSV Mainz over Hertha Berlin and Tottenham into Aston Villa. Nice picks, man. Good luck, and I hope you do well. Just remember, guys, for those that are tuning in for the first time, if you come back on Tuesday, that is when I'll give out the results of the weekend pick'ems with the winners and who gets the money, or if nobody beat me, it goes up another $10. So if nobody beats me, it goes up to 40. Remember, you have to beat me. You can't tie with me. And all draws are wiped off the board. So if VfL Wolfsburg and Werder Bremen draw, then that becomes an 11-pick board and it's no longer out of 12. Which is why you can see that we have 64 from 88 so far from our pick'ems throughout the year. This is the 10th edition right now, the 10th. So we're doing really well. You would think that I'll be somewhere around the 50 mark for how long we've been doing this, but it's actually been doing pretty well. Thanks, Frenetic Day 4. What are you thanking me for? Kind of don't get that random thanks there, man, but you're more than welcome. I'm happy you're enjoying the stream. Your tips. Have you been putting some money on what I've been putting out there, have you, man? Fuck, my elbow is killing me. Oh. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad I'm helping you out. That's the main thing. Always happy to have people around the content that's going out. So just remember that if you're just tuning in, that I'll put in here how you get involved with the pick'em board. Your rules will be there, guys, if you're new to the stream. I don't think you've put any tips out, have you, Frantic? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there you go, just put them out now. That's good to see, man. You've gone with the Bremen pick again. Another Bremen pick, that's good to see. Another Falcons tip. Falcons. We are rolling in from the Falcons into K. What was K again? K was the Colts. Oh, I don't think we can be friends anymore there, Frantic. Colts. Falcons. Double. So we are going to roll into my next pick. I think I got up to the Bucks there. We're rolling into Hertha Berlin. I've picked them on the road against Mainz. I think Berlin has a bit more firepower than Mainz does. Mainz likes to play defensively and try to counter. Far. What are you trying to say there? Are you having a stroke, Falcon? Or Falcon's pass attack will tear the Raiders D apart. I wouldn't say that. I think what you're going to see is that they're getting a lot of people back on the back end this week, especially getting Abrahams back in the secondary is going to be huge. They've actually got a sneaky good cornerback duo there that's finally understanding Gruden's system, I think. I think that there will be a few sacks as well that rattle the cage of Matt Ryan, because the Falcons' offensive line isn't fantastic. And I think Max Crosby and Clelin Ferrell coming back this week is going to be huge, because Clelin Ferrell being on that field makes Max Crosby a monster. That's what people overlook. But Ferrell takes all the blocks and Max Crosby gets in easy. So you can't really have the success of Crosby without the effect of Ferrell on the field. And getting Ferrell back for the Raiders defense will be huge, especially with Carr playing at an MVP level at the moment. So, oh, gross, my mirror coming in with BDEG. BDEG, you've gone with Bremen, Leeds, Marseille, J, the Raiders, nice pick. K, the Colts, don't like that one. Pittsburgh Steelers, I think that should be pretty rudimentary, that pick. Another upset. There's a lot of people back in the 49ers this week. I hope I haven't influenced people. That's my shot in the dark for the week, really. Well, some could consider the Bucks a shot in the dark against the Chiefs. I think the Niners are a bigger smoky this week against the Rams, who are really underwhelming last week. They deserved that loss. Ooh, I missed that game. Holland and Sweden. I thought Holland would win that basketball contest. Whoops. Their pass rush isn't that good if they had to pick up rejects like Beasley and Tack McKinley. I think that fits more into their Tampa 2 blitz system, because they'll just be mix and match pieces that blitz off the sides. I think if you put Tack McKinley and Beasley on either sides of the line, then there's a lot of speed to be had there. And if anything, they're just going to be switching out Crosby on the other side while Ferrell eats up all the blocks, because Beasley and McKinley are both rather fast. I think it was smart for Gruden to pick both of them up. Whether or not Beasley still has it in him to be a footballer, I don't know. He just seemed to be an absolute wafer and a piece of crap when he was in Tennessee, but we'll leave it there. I won't go any more into that. I was a bit disappointed with how he carried himself there, considering I was happy that we picked him up, and then he turned into an absolute piece of pond scum. But it is what it is. So we'll move on from the Berlin game. As I said, it's only a brief game breakdown there. I think the attack for Berlin is a bit better than what it is for Mainz, and that's going to be the difference. We're going to move down now into the Chelsea-Tottenham game. It's going to be at Stamford Bridge. I think that Chelsea is really starting to put the pieces together now, with all the young guys starting to build a bit of chemistry. However, Mourinho seems to have a bit of wood over Frank Lampard. He's beaten him in Stamford Bridge twice already in his career. He also beat him when he was the manager of Derby County. So he's 3-0 against Frank Lampard. He seems to know his play pretty well. And with how Mourinho has sort of evolved Harry Kane as a football player, he plays a bit more forward, a bit more back now, a bit more physical. He's not so much of a pussy attacker. He's Kane's starting to develop into a much better footballer, as much as I hate to say it, because I don't like the Spur. But I think they win this game on the road, because I think Mourinho just knows a bit too much about how Lampard runs his teams, and that'll be the key difference here. Calt Shorts coming in with the picks there. So, another pick for Tottenham coming in there. I see that one from Calt Shorts. Mourinho. That's why the Falcons released him, no heart. Yeah, well, unfortunately it doesn't seem like he's interested in football anymore, so he can pick up his boots and keep on walking. That's on him. He's got a golden opportunity that many people would have killed for. He's taken the spot off someone else. Can't call them Spurs. Hey Tembo, welcome to the stream, my man. Hope you're having a good day. We are getting into the last game here on the pick and board. If you want to have a crack at the pick and board there, Tembo, this is how you get involved. The last game here, we got Hammers hosting Villa at Olympic Park, or Olympic Stadium, I should say. It's a bit up and down from West Ham so far. So far this year, you don't really know what you're getting. Antonio can put goals in from pretty much anywhere on the field if he wants to these days at the moment. He's a... Okay, Temba. What's my phone doing there? It's hearing me say things and trying to pick things up on the internet. It's yeah, I think Antonio, if he can get on the board early, it will give West Ham the confidence they need to try and box Villa out. Grealish has seemed a little laissez-faire at the moment, and when he's not playing at his best, then Villa sort of becomes non-existent because there's no dynamic ball playing in the middle of the park for them. I don't know what he was thinking the last game they played. I had a look, I watched it, and he did some stupid back heel in his own goals and almost gifted the game to Brighton. I mean, I think it was against Brighton, if my memory serves me correct. It was one of the dumbest things I've seen in a long time from something happening at the back of the field. Like, he literally back-heeled it straight into, I think it was Malpay. I'm sure it was Brighton that it happened against. It was one of the weirdest defensive picks or defensive things I've ever seen. So it was a bit strange, but I think what you're looking at there is a more well-rounded... Yeah, you do. You got to put them all in there, Temba. So I think when you're looking at it, West Ham is probably a better option there. If anything, that game, I think it's got a high chance of finishing in a draw. Oh, we got picks coming in there from Boozy Deddens, if I said that correctly. I don't know, my man. I don't know if I've said your name right, but I hope I did. We are looking... I think we've rounded out the board pretty well there, everybody. It's a rather interesting board that we've got up here. And like I said, I like to pick games that aren't so straight line for everybody to be a bit challenged with their picks. Also helps diversify your knowledge a bit more on the games coming on for the weekend. Gives you a bit more of an interest. Remember, if you're able to beat my picks this week, you are in the running to win $30. If you do not, well, 30 will be $30 of your currency, or 30 as a gift voucher for Steam if you prefer that. But we are currently looking at possibly, I think, based off the picks I've made, I'm probably looking maybe, I think 8 to 9 would be a good week. I think there's a couple of games there that are a bit too 50-50 that I could go the other way on. Like I said, if Chelsea uses that youth that they've got, they could bang them out pretty quick and get over the top of Tottenham early. But I just think Mourinho is really starting to put the pieces together there for Tottenham at the moment, and they're going to be a rather competitive side for the rest of the season. So with that said, I'll leave you guys to put some picks out here, guys. I'm going to close off my mic and my camera. I'll give you guys another 5 to 10 minutes to get your picks in for the board, and then these picks will then go on YouTube so that people can also get their picks in there after the stream is done. Oh, Tembo's come in with the triple home side to kick things off there as well with the ace. So they've gone into Spartak Moscow on the road. Oh, H. Oh, you're missing one there, Tembo. You've got to get a, I think, I or an L pick in. I or K, I or J. You're missing I or J. Yes, I think you've skipped the Raiders and Falcons game there. So far, the general consensus there has been the Falcons, which has surprised me a bit. But everything gets logged into the bot in the background, and a winner will be announced on Tuesday if you're able to beat me. That's the big golden rule there. You've got to beat me to get your hands on that money. But it's been very interesting to see a few picks coming through today. I wasn't expecting the Falcons to get as much love as they have today. That was rather interesting to see. Also, there's been a lot pumping in for Villa at the end as well, which has surprised me as well a bit as well. I said as well about 4 times then. I didn't need to say that many times, but it happened. Oh, it's good to see you've gone with West Ham too at the end there, Tembo. I think you're right on the money there. I think it's there. I think the UV game between Chelsea and Tottenham's going to be... I think that'll be the coin flipper for a lot of people this week if it doesn't end in a draw. Well, what have we gone with there then? You've gone with the Falcons into the Titans into Pittsburgh. taken the Rams, and you've gone with the Chiefs. So you've got some pretty decent picks on the board there. And you took the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got a good chance of getting them all on. All right, peace out, Tembo. Thanks for dropping by, man. I hope you have a good weekend. I'll make sure to drop by your stream if you're on over the weekend as well, my man. We will wrap that one up here now. That is the end of today's Pick'em Show. I will be slapping this one up on YouTube real soon. And in probably about an hour, I'll be back to you with a little bit more stream time. I will probably be playing some Rogue Company. I look forward to seeing you all then. As always, peace out. Hey everybody, my name's The Fade. Thanks for tuning into this YouTube channel. I stream weekly on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheFade with a 4 and a 3. Weekdays Monday to Friday, 9:30 AM to 5 PM CET. Be sure to drop by the stream and give it a look.